Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I am your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a look at some of the top stories of this week. On 20th January, National Mourning Day, President İlham Əliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited the Alley of Martyrs on the 31st anniversary of the bloodshed, which was committed by the Soviet Empire in Baku. President İlham Əliyev visited Lənkəran and Neftçala districts. On January 15th, President, victorious Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, İlham Əliyev, participated in the opening of the new military hospital complex of the State Border Service in Baku.
Göstərilən Prezident Cənab Ali Başkomandan Hərbi Hospital kompleksi açılışa hazırdır. Hizmet rəisi General Polkovnik Quliyev. Hoş geldiniz Cənab Ali Başkomandan. Salam Cənab Prezident. Hoş geldiniz.
Chief of the State Border Service Colonel General Elçin Quliyev informed the head of state of the hospital complex situated at Fatali Khan Khoyski Street 99 in Baku. The old building of the military hospital was built in the 70s of the 20th century. The military hospital is equipped with medical equipment manufactured in leading countries of the world. Patients will receive qualified multifunctional services in the field of cardiovascular surgery, invasive cardiology, neurology, and other areas of medical activity. The construction of the military hospital, spanning 8 floors and including auxiliary buildings, was executed using modern technologies and advanced practices. The 240-bed hospital boasts 903 rooms, 17 departments, and 80 wards. The capacity can be expanded to 700 beds during the military period. The establishment of the emergency medical center ensures the 24-hour reception of patients in critical condition. The hospital has waiting rooms, a conference room, bedrooms, dining areas, and a laboratory. The hospital incorporates state-of-the-art medical examination and treatment facilities for flight personnel and divers. Throughout the year, the military hospital is equipped to handle 100,000 to 110,000 outpatients and 17,000 to 20,000 inpatients. The military hospital surgery department is equipped to perform complex operations with ease. The facility boasts a special block comprising of 11 operating rooms. The laboratory department at the military hospital is equipped with state-of-the-art equipment from leading companies worldwide, enabling research to be conducted using the latest methods. The hospital has a calling control system. It also provides facilities for clinical activities, medical staff training, and training qualified military doctors. The military hospital has a range of departments including a polyclinic, ambulance, emergency department, radiology, gynecology and maternity, barometric adaptation and urology, oncology, therapy, surgery, cardiology, resuscitation and intensive care, as well as dental and endoscopy centers. The medical personnel provide high-quality medical services.
On January 16th, President İlham Aliyev visited Lənkəran and Neftçala districts.
On January 16th, President İlham Aliyev visited Lənkəran district. The head of state familiarized himself with the new orchard of the Lenk Fruit LLC, established in Separati village of Lənkəran district, and inaugurated Lənkəran Regional Center of Hasan Khidmat. Afterwards, President İlham Aliyev reviewed newly built modern penitentiary complex and confectionery manufacturing enterprise of Laran LLC in Lənkəran. The head of state also visited the statue of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev in the city of Lənkəran. On the same day, President İlham Aliyev also visited Neftçala district. The head of state visited the monument of the nationwide leader Heydar Aliyev in the city of Neftçala and participated in the ceremony to launch drinking water supply system of the city of Neftçala.
President İlham Aliyev accepted credentials of newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Ali Badara Kamara. The ambassador presented his credentials to President İlham Aliyev. The head of state then had a conversation with the ambassador. The ambassador first conveyed the greetings of the President of Sierra Leone to the head of state. President İlham Aliyev thanked for the greetings and asked the ambassador to pass on his own greetings to the President of Sierra Leone. The discussion covered the prospects for bilateral collaboration and cooperation within the non-aligned movement and other international organizations. Saying that Azerbaijan's chairmanship of the non-aligned movement would end shortly, the head of state expressed his gratitude to Sierra Leone, a member country, for its support with the movement. President İlham Aliyev expressed hope that Azerbaijan and Sierra Leone would cooperate within the movement following the conclusion of Azerbaijan's chairmanship. Expressing his country's keen interest in developing relations with Azerbaijan, the ambassador noted that Azerbaijan's support during Sierra Leone's Ebola crisis was highly appreciated. He also extended congratulations on Azerbaijan's successful chairmanship of the non-aligned movement. The ambassador commended the mutual support demonstrated by Azerbaijan and Sierra Leone within international organizations. Ali Badara Kamara said that he plans to hold meetings with Azerbaijani officials and emphasized that he would spare no effort in defining new areas and ways to expand ties. President of Azerbaijan touched upon the necessity of enhancing cooperation between the two countries and peoples. The head of state emphasized that Azerbaijan, as a chair country of the non-aligned movement, initiated establishment of the parliamentary youth and women's platforms within the organization. President İlham Aliyev stated that Azerbaijan, considering the establishment of the non-aligned movement as a fundamental principle and a key aspect in the fight against colonialism, has identified its struggle against neocolonialism as a top priority and thrown its support behind this process. President İlham Aliyev highlighted that the Baku Initiative Group had organized significant events on the topic of neocolonialism in both Baku and the UN office at Geneva in 2023, adding that colonial powers should at least apologize to the states and peoples they colonized in Africa, Asia and Latin America. The head of state further added that although the forms of colonialism may have changed, its essence remains the same, persisting in various forms. The head of state emphasized that colonial empires seek to cover up the crimes committed in the countries they colonized by taking advantage of their membership in international institutions. The president underscored the paramount importance of exposing these crimes to the global public. President Ilham invited the president of Sierra Leone to the COP29 to be held in Baku this year. The meeting encompassed discussions and cooperation in various sectors, including economy, agriculture, investment, human capital development, culture, science, education, and other mutually beneficial issues. The exchange of experiences in good governance was highlighted with a specific mention of the experience of the Hasan Khidmat. Azerbaijan's readiness to share its experience in this field was also underlined. President Ilham Aliyev received credentials of newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Senegal, Cheikh Gouye.
The ambassador presented his credentials to President Ilham Aliyev. The head of state had a conversation with the ambassador. The ambassador conveyed the fraternal greetings of the President of Senegal to the head of state. He noted the determination of the President of Senegal to develop bilateral ties between the two countries. President Ilham Aliyev expressed gratitude for the greetings and requested the ambassador to pass on his own greetings to the President of Senegal. During the meeting, they exchanged views on the prospects for relations between the two countries, both on the bilateral basis and within international organizations, and praised the successful development of bilateral bonds. The sides described the constant mutual support of Azerbaijan and Senegal within the UN and the non-aligned movement as a positive factor. President Ilham Aliyev expressed hope for the continued cooperation within the UN and the non-aligned movement in the future. Diplomatic correspondence between the two countries at the highest level and mutual congratulations on international and national days were highly appreciated. Highlighting Azerbaijan's 4-year chairmanship of the non-aligned movement, President Ilham Aliyev pointed out that Senegal also supported the extension of the country's chairmanship of the organization for another year and expressed gratitude once again for this. The ambassador of Senegal conveyed his congratulations on the successful NAM chairmanship of Azerbaijan. Touching upon bilateral cooperation, President Ilham Aliyev emphasized the need to further develop political relations and explore opportunities in the economic and trade sectors. The head of state expressed optimism that the ambassador's official meetings in Azerbaijan and his activities would contribute to further expanding cooperation. They noted broad prospects for the development of cooperation between the two countries, covering political, economic, trade, cultural, humanitarian, and security fields. The ambassador mentioned the discovery of oil in Senegal, noting that the country had joined the ranks of oil-producing nations. He expressed particular interest in Azerbaijan's experience in this regard. The head of state highlighted opportunities for students from Senegal to study in Azerbaijan's educational institutions specializing in oil and energy. Given Azerbaijan's hosting the COP29, President Ilham Aliyev extended an invitation to the Senegalese president to attend the event.
President Ilham Aliyev accepted credentials of newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United States of America, Mark Libby.
The ambassador presented his credentials to President Ilham Aliyev. The head of state had a conversation with the ambassador. The president of Azerbaijan congratulated the ambassador on his new appointment and wished him success in his endeavors. The ambassador noted that he would spare no effort to advance bilateral relations. During the meeting, the sides exchanged views on the prospects for relations between Azerbaijan and the United States across various areas as well as international and regional issues. They touched on the issues of cooperation in economic and energy domains as well as between the two countries' business communities. During the conversation, the parties exchanged views on the normalization of relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan and the peace agenda. The U.S. ambassador conveyed his greetings regarding Azerbaijan hosting COP29 this year. The sides also explored opportunities for cooperation between Azerbaijan and the United States on climate change within the framework of COP29.
34 years have passed since the bloody 20th January tragedy. On 20th of January, National Mourning Day, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva visited the Alley of Martyrs on the 31st anniversary of the bloodshed, which was committed by the Soviet Empire in Baku.
In connection with the 34th anniversary of the January 20 tragedy, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva honored the memory of those who fell for the freedom of our country in the Alley of Martyrs. The bloody event that took place 34 years ago on January 20 went down in the history of the Azerbaijani people as one of the most tragic, sorrowful, but at the same time heroic and valiant pages. This is exactly how the great leader Heydar Aliyev described the events of January 20. The great leader said that the more we move away from those days, the more deeply we realize their importance in the history of Azerbaijani people. Indeed, January 20, 1990 became a turning point in the life of the Azerbaijani people. The political and legal assessment of the January 20 tragedy at the state level was given thanks to national leader Heydar Aliyev. On the morning after the tragedy, on January 21, 1990, coming to the permanent mission of Azerbaijan in Moscow, Heydar Aliyev demonstrated that he was close to his people. He gave a political assessment of the tragedy of January 20, stated that what happened was illegal, contrary to democracy, humanism, and was a gross political mistake, allowed as a result of the betrayal of the then leadership of the republic. On the initiative of national leader Heydar Aliyev, who returned from Moscow in July 1990, on November 21st of the same year, the Supreme Assembly of the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic adopted a document in which for the first time a political and legal assessment of the tragedy of January 20 was given. But even after Azerbaijan regained its independence until 1993, none of those in power found the courage to reveal the whole truth about the tragic events. Only after the return of the national leader of the Azerbaijani people, Heydar Aliyev, to the leadership of the republic, the true essence of the events of January 20 was revealed. The resolution of the Milli Majlis, dated March 29, 1994, specifically identified the perpetrators of the January 20 tragedy, and this bloody event was regarded as military aggression and a crime committed by the totalitarian communist regime in order to strangle the national liberation movement in Azerbaijan, break the faith and the will of the people. The memory of the martyrs was immortalized, the Eternal Flame Memorial Complex was erected in the Alley of Martyrs. January 20 was declared as a day of national mourning, and social protection of the families of martyrs and persons who became disabled during the events of January 20 was strengthened. Our country shows constant attention and care for the disabled of January 20 and the families of martyrs. Today we can say with confidence that the soul of the great leader Heydar Aliyev, the souls of all the martyrs who sacrificed their lives for the independence and territorial integrity of our country have found peace. Because the victorious Azerbaijani army put an end to the 30-year longing of the Azerbaijani people, liberated our lands from the Armenian occupation, and created a new reality in the region. As a result of successful anti-terrorism measures carried out in September 2023, our sovereignty was completely restored. Now the flag of Azerbaijan waves in all our territories. The complete restoration of the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Azerbaijan is also proof that the blood of the martyrs of January 20, all the martyrs who gave their lives for the liberation of our lands from the occupation, has been avenged.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and see you next Sunday.